people gonna show up?
What are you doing? We've been giving you the cue to start the show.
I was gonna wait for more people to show up.
Christina, you can't just do that.
But there's no one there. We might as well stop the whole show right now.
There could be one person out there and the show would have to continue. Besides, there could be a critic out there.
There are absolutely no critics out there. I will tell you that for a fact.
How could you possibly know that?
I looked out in the audience and there's no critics.
You can't tell if someone's a critic or not just by looking at them. It's not like they're going to be holding up a sign that says, "Look at me, I'm a critic."
Go look out there for yourself.
You want me, the stage manager, to go on stage, look at the audience, and come back?
Yeah, pretend you're doing a pre-show speech. You're supposed to do that anyway.
Fine. Hello, and welcome to the world premiere of A Soldier's Promise. At this time, we would like our audience to refrain from eating, drinking, or smoking during the show. Cell phones should be off for the duration of the show. The use of cameras or any recording devices is strictly prohibited. At this time, please locate your nearest fire exit, and in the event of a fire, please walk, don't run to your nearest exit. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
What did I tell you? No critics.
Just get your ass out.
But there's no one there.
Just go already.
Fine. When will my husband return? When will my husband return from the war? I stare at the clock, hoping it will strike not 1, not 2, not 3, but instead will strike the hour that Lucas returns. When he does, I will greet him with all of the warmth in my body. All of these gifts which he has given me do not make up for the gift of his presence, but I take solace in the fact that one day it will be the day that Lucas returns, and when he does, we will spend the rest of our lives together in eternal bliss. That was his promise to me. His promise. His promise. Shit. Fuck. Lucas, my darling, is that you?
Do you want to get fired?
Oh, I love when you talk dirty to me, Lucas. Yeah, take control. Fire me, baby.
Christina, this is serious. Stop cursing at the audience.
I'm not cursing at the audience. I'm cursing in front of the audience. If I was cursing at the audience, it'd look something like this. Shit. Fuck. Damn. Hell. Bitch.
You drank before the show.
What? No.
Don't lie to me.
I'm only drunk on disappointment.
There was a flask in your dressing room.
I named my flask Disappointment.
Whatever. I give up. Do whatever you want. You're fired.
Really? Anything I want?
Anything you want, because I just fired you.
Did you hear that? Anything I want.
Can you confirm that you just heard me fire you?
Anything I want. Wow, okay. Well, I've never been good at improvisational acting, but we'll give it a whirl. Whew. Besides, whatever I have to say has to be better than what this playwright wrote. He seriously titled the show A Soldier's Promise. I'm pretty sure that the plot of this show has been visited by Nicholas Sparks at least like 12 times before now. Do you want to hear the ending? I could tell you anything I want. The show was supposed to be an hour long, so we have an hour to spend together. I mean, you could leave if you want, but you paid like, what, $15 to be here? So you might as well stick around. So, the end of the play is that Lucas dies. We find out because my character goes out to get the mail during intermission, and then on Act 2, she's reading a letter and sobbing. It's a real shame I'm not doing the show anymore because I've been training myself to cry on cue for exactly this moment. So, she's reading a letter and she's sobbing, which gives away that there's something wrong with Lucas. I like to think that the audience hasn't figured out exactly what it is yet. Like, maybe Lucas cheated on her, got injured in some horrible way. I kind of doubt you guys would have thought about it that much, though. Which isn't to say that you're dumb. As a theater artist, I'm supposed to assume that all audiences are smart and dumb at the same time. It's a tricky industry, this business called show. So, the fact is, Lucas is dead now. I spent the first 5 minutes of the play in a row crying, and then the rest of the Act 2 bemoaning the fact that he's dead, and then that's it. That's the end of the show. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I almost made all of you sit through that. There was one line in Act 2 that I did like, though. It was, "My desire for freedom has left me empty." It kind of has a double meaning during the show. The first is that Lucas is fighting a war for America, and as we all know, every war fought in America is a war fought for freedom. So there's that kind of freedom. But then in Act 1, my character talks about how maybe she would be better off if her and Lucas split up because she's young and she should be at that point where she's exploring all of her options. But instead she's married, bound to this guy she hardly ever sees. I can't really say I relate to that, but still, has a nice ring to it. "My desire for freedom has left me empty." It makes you think, which is the point of theater. Maybe. Depends on who you ask. Well, this is disappointing. My first one-woman show, and there's not a whole lot of you here. I can't say I'm too surprised, because theater's a dying art and everything. I was just kind of hoping it would die a little later than right now at this exact moment. Like right here when I'm trying to do a show. The stage manager is gone. Don't worry about that little spat we had earlier. Stage managers are supposed to be strict. Why, what would the world of theater be without a strict stage manager? Poorly managed, that's what. The fact that she's gone really just kind of sets in that this is like all off limits, all personal, all improvised, now in 3D. Anything I want. I could do anything I want. What rules of theatrical reality shall I break today? Whew, well, I could go out to all of you and talk to you individually, except that's kind of been done before, hasn't it? In fact, I did it at the start of the show. You were all there. I called you a bitch, and I'm sorry. Do I have to get creative with this? I kind of feel like I have to since I abandoned the... Yeah, he thinks so.
You can do anything you want.
What?
You can do anything you want.
I can, but I just kind of feel like I've set the challenge for myself to be more creative than what I was supposed to be doing. Oops. Look at this Brechtian bullshit. The director wants you to think that we only have a couch and a table as a props because we're being minimalist, but you know just as well as I do that we couldn't afford a less pretentious idea. That felt kind of nice. This feels good. Feels great. Just really wrecking a room. You should all try it sometime. Just go out there and kill it. Yeah. Welcome to Dismal Land. Don't worry, someone will clean that up after the show. In fact, I'll do it right now. I mean, I'm not doing anything else, you know? I'll just clean it up now. In theater, we all want you to think that everything's so neat and tidy, even if it's supposed to look like a war zone. But the second you step backstage, you realize that everything is being held together by duct tape and the dreams of a desperate designer. She knows what I'm talking about. There's no magic in it, except for our ability to disguise just how poor we really are. I mean, for instance, you see all these pillows? Got them at a dollar store. This scarf, too, I actually think I'm going to keep it. It's really nice. It's soft. So, now that I got fired, I should probably start promoting myself. Hi, my name is Christina Higgins. I'm a local actress. Nice to meet you. I like your necklace. This is my first one-woman show, but it's special for another reason. I'm not getting paid. I'm just kidding. That doesn't make this show special. A lot of theater companies either can't or won't afford to pay their actors, and if they do, they usually pay them a small stipend. The last show I was in, for example, they paid me $50. $50! So let's do the math right now, shall we? I'll do it right now. You don't even have to do math. So we rehearsed for 3 weeks, 4 days per week at 3 hours each. So that's 12 rehearsal days and 36 rehearsal hours. Then came Tech Week, which was 5 days long at 4 hours each. So that'd be 20 more hours, totaling to 56 total rehearsal hours so far. The show was 1 hour long. I was called in 2 hours in advance, and we ran for 6 performances. So that's 18 more hours plus the 56, totaling to 74 total hours at 68 cents per hour. Yeah. But I mean, whatever, I'm getting paid in experience. You know what else gives me experience? Paid jobs. Experience doesn't pay a single one of my bills. Ask my landlord. But you came to see a show, not hear me talk about the soulless scam called stipends. So, a show. A show.
He's here, I'm not going.
I can put on a show for you, but I'll do it right now. That was a stupid idea. I had this idea where I'd start a song and then you'd all join along. He kind of got the gist of it. And then at the end, I would say something about how we all have a song in our hearts and you don't need words to communicate with total strangers. But that was a really dumb idea, I kind of think. Plus, you can't really force audience participation on someone, If they don't want it, then it's useless. So, a show. Do an actual show this time. Here we go. Theater magic. I'm actually going to see how much time we have. Hold on. It's been 5 minutes so far, which means that we have 55 more minutes, and I have 55 more minutes to come up with new material for you guys. 55 is like what I was doing before, except 11 more of those. Oh my god! Okay. All right. I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything at all, you guys. I have nothing. I have no ideas. I feel like those dreams where I'm in a public place like high school and I'm naked and I'm freaking out about the fact that I'm naked, but nobody else around me seems to care. And it's like my nudity isn't a big deal, but it feels weird to me and I feel like I should be covering up. I feel vulnerable. Is this what acting is supposed to feel like? His promise, his promise, his promise, his promise. I really wish I could remember my lines after that. I just feel better as a performer, going on stage and knowing what to do, like my job. Even an improvisational actor has some sort of a structure. I've got nothing. My desire for freedom has left me empty. A lot of people think that art is about doing whatever you want all the time, but that's not it. Not really. I mean, our ability to create comes from the limitations put in front of us. The set designer has the limitations of the set, obviously. I, as an actress, have the limitations of the lines, obviously. We all have deadlines, budgets, relationships, reality. I guess art isn't about doing whatever you want, it's about doing what you can with what you have. I'm sorry that I can't remember the rest of my lines. This world premiere kind of tanked, and my artistic career is probably not too far behind it. I probably should have become a receptionist anyway. Well, if you guys want me, after the show, I'll be at the tavern. Thank you for sharing your time with me.